Hi, good morning everyone, and happy Sunday and happy birthday to the virtual wellness markets. I'm so excited that we're able to share information via a virtual market, and a big thank you to Kathy and Katie. So this weekend has been fabulous, has it not? So when we buy anything, we get a manual. And like me, you probably don't read it. So we get manuals. Even when we buy flowers, we're told where to plant them, how to water them. And the reason is we don't need to know exactly how something works, but we need to know what to do when it goes wrong. So that's one of the reasons why we get a manual. So do you know what to do when things go wrong with yourself? So things like digestive problems, stomach pain, nausea, bloating, gas, your tummy feels worse every time you eat. You have persisting issues like no energy, sleep issues, hormone imbalances, weight gain, anxiety, joint issues, and the list goes on. So in working with my clients, I help them access the parts of the manual that they need to help them achieve relief from symptoms and resolve not just the symptoms, but the root cause issues. So working with hundreds of clients, I found that gut issues, perceived stress and anxiety, low energy, sleep issues, hormone imbalances, weight gain, they actually all go hand in hand. So I'm Kerry Madgwick from Kerry's Natural Health Solutions. I'm a clinical nutritionist and clinical hypnotherapist, and my passion is gut health and demystifying nutrition and trauma and stress to give people easy strategies that work, because I suffered from gut issues for years and my doctor labeled me as stressed. And apart from medication that I didn't want, she never gave me strategies on how to get this under control and how to deal with this. And because I wanted a holistic way of dealing with my own health, I started doing a lot of studying and a lot of research. And what I discovered, the more I researched and studied, was that how important that my gut health was. And that was what I needed to fix first, was my gut health. So when we think of flowers, we need to think of the soil. So the soil has to be fixed before the tree or the plant will survive. So this is where my passion for root cause healing came from, is that we need to heal the root cause. We don't just need to stick a sticky plaster on. And I think so often we have a quick fix where we stick the plaster on, but we're not actually resolving the symptoms. We're not getting a solution. We're just sticking a sticky plaster on almost so that we don't see it, as if it goes away. So when we are driving a car, if we see a red light, we don't just ignore it. Well, I hope you don't anyway. I hope you'd go to the garage and get it fixed. But so often when it comes to our bodies, we have a red light, which is the sign. So you have headaches, migraines, joint issues, all of these things start to come about, and they're red lights, but often most of us ignore them. We just go, oh, my headaches are normal, I can't sleep at night, it's normal. But these are not normal things. We can't just ignore it. We do need to get them checked. So today I'm just going to share with you why you may have that red light, and why you may struggle to resolve this, and why you may struggle to achieve optimal health. And of course, I'll share some simple solutions on how you can achieve this. Plus, I have a free gift of a cheat sheet, because I'm aware we have limited time and I could waffle on for hours rather than 15 minutes. So I'll share with you at the end how you can get access to that cheat sheet. And what I'll do is, anyone who downloads the cheat sheet, I'll put you in a draw, and one person will win a prize, because it's the birthday weekend, to get a guided stress release track that is specially just for you. So, quick question: have you heard of your microbiome? I hope you have, but if you haven't, that's okay. I'm just going to tell you a little bit more about it. So our microbiome consists of the microbes that live on us and in us. Although they do mostly live in the gut, we do have bacteria that live on our skin as well. And our gut is often referred to as the second brain, as I see Barbara's commented there. And because you've heard of trusting your gut, you've heard of butterflies in your stomach, you've heard of trusting your intuition. And we have this huge connection between our brain and our gut through our vagus nerve. And we actually have 100 million neurons in the gut. So you can see that there is this massive connection between the gut and the brain. And that's why I say, when it comes to your mood and anxiety and depression, those can also be linked to your gut health. So just back to our gut bacteria, our microbiome, which is collectively called. What our microbiome does is it helps us to digest our food, regulate our immune system, and importantly, 80% of our immune system is in our gut, and this is what helps to protect us against illness, disease, and helps us with balancing our hormones. So you might wonder kind of where this all started, and what happens is during a normal birth, a baby swallows what will become its foundation of a healthy microbiome, and then when babies are breastfed, what happens is the breast milk then helps to nurture the microbiome. But when babies are born by C-section and formula fed, they're more likely to struggle with their immune system due to the lack of the healthy bacteria. So we see this as the foundation is missing. And a lot of my clients come to me, they have skin issues, they have perceived anxiety, they have food allergies and intolerances, joint issues. And as I said, this is because their foundation is missing. And science is now linking most of today's greatest health concerns with the microbiome. So aside from the pandemic, we have a global health crisis: cardiovascular disease, obesity, diabetes, Alzheimer's, dementia. All of these illnesses are on the rise. And science has known this for over 2,000 years. Hippocrates said that all disease begins in the gut. But we now finally have access to this, and we know how to reset, rebalance, and rebuild our gut health, because this is actually our main link to optimal health. So our microbiome is filled with beneficial bacteria, and these have a vital link, as I said, to your health or to your ill health or disease, and it's all influenced by our diet and our lifestyle. So ill health is on the rise, as I said, and so it's a poor diet. We have a lot of processed and packaged foods. Unfortunately, as we age, we have fairly poor breathing techniques. We're not getting enough oxygen and nitric oxide. We have lifestyle issues. We have a toxic environment, and all of these things create an imbalance in our bacteria. So we need helpful and harmful bacteria at a ratio of about 85% helpful and 15% harmful. And we do need that harmful bacteria because it does help produce some of the vitamins in our body from the nutrients that we absorb. So it is important, but what we see mostly is that people are completely reversed, and that they only have 15% beneficial and about 85% not so beneficial bacteria. And this leads to the symptoms that we see, from skin issues to joint health, depression, Alzheimer's, dementia, digestive issues, fibromyalgia, even chronic fatigue. So literally everything you can think of, A to Z, somewhere your gut has a role to play in that. So, and the reason is because what happens is when we have toxins or food that our body doesn't recognize as food, we end up with damage to our gut wall, which is a 1-cell layer lining, I had to practice that protects us from these toxins and undigested food. And the damage that happens to our cell lining is then these food particles get into our bloodstream, and this is where we see the issues. So if you think of your gut wall, so this is a piece of kind of muslin cloth, and you can see it has got tiny little holes in it, and that's because that's how our if our digestion is working correctly, our food is absorbed through that wall and everything works optimally. But what happens is when we have toxins and undigested food particles, because our body doesn't recognize the food because it's processed and packaged and it's something made in a factory or in a lab rather than in a kitchen, we end up with these walls. So hopefully you can see those, the holes in the wall, and those big holes is what happens is then the undigested particles get through those holes, and that's what we then refer to as leaky gut, and that your gut is leaking and it's not working properly. It's not working as the barrier that it should do. And when these particles get into our bloodstream, this is when we see issues with inflammation, autoimmune issues, allergies, hay fevers. So the thing is, we don't get a manual for our body, and we don't need to know exactly how it works because it's incredibly complex. It is, to me, the most complex, the most magical, the most amazing thing that you will ever own is your body. And you don't need to know exactly how it works, but we do need to know what to do when we start to see those red lights coming on of headaches and sleep issues and joint issues. And those are the things that are affecting our lives. And that's when we start to see that there's a breakdown in the gut wall. And once we understand that that's what the issue is, that we can then work on repairing it, because it's not until we know what the issues are that we can do something about it. So I'll just run through 6 ways very quickly that might be affecting the health of your microbiome that you might not be aware of. So we've spoken about what you eat, and this is really important. So greens are one of the main things that help to feed our beneficial bacteria. This is a liquid green supplement, and if you have little people or even big people in your life who are not so keen on greens, this is a really good addition, because you just add this into water. And I've seen most of my clients are deficient not only in greens but in drinking water, so that is a simple solution that kind of solves 2 of those issues. We also have antibiotics, medication, birth control. These all affect how our body absorbs nutrients, and it impacts the nutrients that are absorbed. And I'm not by any means saying stop taking your medication, but it's being aware that if you are on any kind of medication long term, you do need to be supporting your gut health. So the one thing we always recommend is probiotics, and these probiotics are amazing because nearly 100% of them reach where they need to go in your body. And we often see with other probiotics is that most of them don't actually reach your body where they need to go. They are destroyed by your stomach acid, and they don't reach the colon where they need it. So it's something to be aware of, is that you may be supplementing with probiotics, but they may not be the right ones for you. So the other issues we see is with alcohol, and I know I hear a big sigh, but it's just understanding that your daily glass of wine or a gin and tonic actually does affect the gut lining, as we said, and just one night of binge drinking can actually affect and increase the negative bacteria in your gut. And then this affects, as we've said, your belly. We get that muffin top. It affects your brain fog and headaches, and your liver starts to suffer as well. And the other thing is that as I said, it's our food, so we need to take a good probiotic to replenish, because when our body is compromised, we need a little bit of extra help and support to get it back to the point where it can heal itself, because your body will heal itself. That's what it's designed to do. But when we have these red lights that have been going on for a long time and we've ignored them, we just need to give our body a little bit more support to get back to balance so that it can help. So the other thing that we have is hand sanitizers, and we've all been using them, and we've all been using them for good reason. But these hand sanitizers do also compromise our microbiome. So it's just understanding that and doing things to resolve that. So we talked about the lining of your digestive system, and this is the one important thing that we need to rebuild to make sure that we can get our health to an optimal place where we can start to heal and repair that. So I talked about your gut as a garden, because we need to repair the soil. If you have a house and you build it on a poor foundation, you can put up the walls and the roof, but the cracks will eventually start to appear. So the foundation is the most important thing, because we need to stimulate the growth and activity of the good bacteria, because we need those bacteria to send all the signals. We have a lot of, as I said, this gut-brain connection, a lot of neurons that happen in the gut. So if you would like some answers and tools to build and make some lifestyle changes, not a short-term diet, we have a very simple and easy step-by-step lifestyle program. Although it's only 21 days, it is about making those lifestyle changes. And the important thing is, it took me 4 years and a lot of money to heal my gut, whereas you can start doing that in 21 days. So just in closing, it's just saying, please remember, you never dine alone. You're always feeding your bacteria, whether that's your helpful or your harmful bacteria. So we all know that white rice, pasta, sugar, those all feed our harmful bacteria, whereas whole foods, fiber, all of those kind of things feed our good bacteria. And all of that information is in my cheat sheet. So please, do download that to get that information. So I'd just like to say thank you so much for your time. I hope that's given you a little bit of insight and will help you. just write the words cheat sheet below and I'll send you the link to download your cheat sheet, and there'll be information in there to join our 21-day program. If you'd love to join our community to improve your health, you'll find all the details in there. Our next program starts on the 12th of April. So thank you so much for your time, and I hope everybody has a fabulous afternoon. Take care.